Alright, everybody ready to go? Let's do this. Come on, let's do this. Woo!
Hi, welcome back to the Derpcast. Here today with Rowan and Joe. I'm Troy.
Whoa, what? I asked for Jennifer Lawrence and Megan Fox. What the fuck is this shit? What? No! Wait, where's my editor? I need to get my shock collar again.
No, not the shot collar! Not the shot collar! Please.
I guess. Oops, wrong button. Well, anyway, welcome back. I'm Joe.
Someone call help or something. Oh.
You don't need help. All you need is pride.
Oh, easy there, dramatic. Easy there, Hollywood.
That's a lot coming from you, Mr. Jennifer Lawrence, Megan Fox. Oh, I guess I deserve that.
Indeed.
So, Troy, why don't you continue?
Well, now we need to talk about what's new. So, what's new?
Alright, Derpcast, ready to go. We have a new lineup. As you might have seen, we now have a decent trailer that is explaining what we do and who we are and how our schedule is going to be, which let me just recap that. We're going to have now two universes, A and B. A is me, Troy, and Joe, and Universe B is going to be a new introduction, Max and me, and possibly someone else. We don't know. You don't know what's going on. Ooh. The weekly lineup is going to be Derpcast on Mondays. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, it's going to be the Gmod series. And on Wednesdays and Fridays, we're going to have Minecraft. Any time of the week, we might release a vlog. And any time of the week, we might release a live-action film, an animation, etc. As well, we're going to be doing a live-action prop hunt coming up. We're just getting that set up. The scripts are written. We have to find a location. It's going to have me and Troy. Joe is crying because he can't do it because he lives in another freaking state that's like 2,000 miles away, which sucks for him. But anyways.
Loser!
Gay!
Oh.
That's funny because he's an actual homosexual.
Oh! Zing!
Bada bing, hey!
Well, let the whole internet know, why not?
Oh, yeah, because you don't tell that many people. Right, yeah.
Shut your mouth!
And
alright, enough about my sex life.
Yeah,
and on
what
to,
sex life? Ooh. That was worth it.
Alright. And for me and my new releases and stuff, well, I don't release any. I don't do anything. I just vlog. I can't record any videos that are interesting, other than my daily life, which is pretty boring. Rowan, keep your mouth shut, dude. Unless we're gonna get zapped again. I just have him edit it though. I just low quality videos.
Joe can't do it.
So it's just same old. Whatever. How about you, Troy?
For my channel, I'm gonna be uploading some new videos. I currently did an Outlast video, and that'll be up once I edit it.
Yeah, once you can edit it.
Yeah, at the moment I can't edit it, so yeah.
We're all just gonna have Rowan edit our stuff for us. Doesn't matter.
You have to pay me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, $50 an hour.
Oh.
Sounds pretty fair.
Because this shock collar says otherwise.
I'm starting to build up a tolerance. Please don't up the voltage.
Well, less terror-filled, and moving on to, I don't even know what we're moving on to. I don't...
You're not the host!
Yeah, Troy, what are you doing?
We're moving on to Spotlight, so I guess, Rowan, go ahead and start.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this conversation may not be, the most interesting. We're not going to be talking about sex or drugs or money or cocaine or rock and roll or whatever. We're going to be talking about video games.
Because rock and roll is so interesting.
So interesting, I know. We're going to be talking about video games, but not specifically video games in the educational system. Now, I've been actually developing like every single essay I've written in college so far, every single project that I've been able to focus on a certain theme, it's either been around the educational properties of video games or changing the education system as a whole. Now, most of you are wondering, well, what do we need to fix? And for those of you who don't live in the United States, we have what is been termed as the banking method, which is pretty much the students sit there and the teachers just deposit information, and the students just have to absorb it, and then the students later have to reproduce it like a bank. Now the problem with that is it's boring. It's they have to just go through the terrible things of having to test all of this, so the teachers can't teach what they want, and the kids can't learn what they want to learn. So pretty much, the idea of testing is okay, but we're just kind of obsessed with it, the school system, and we're trying to fix that. And I'm suggesting other concepts and ideas that would make education better. And you guys feel free to chime in anytime you want. This is just an open debate. But what I'm going to be talking about is just some ideas, what I've thought would be fantastic to implement into the school system. I'm going to go through this real quick because I don't want to take too much time.
Okay, but first,
yeah?
Let me say that what you're about to get into is a really rather touchy subject.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know. But I mean, I think that most people are going to agree. I mean, I'm not saying everyone's going to agree. Everyone has their own opinion. But I'm saying most are going to agree because most realize the problem. And there is really a problem. So, like I said, the main problem is that, teachers can't teach what they want. Students can't learn what they want. They have to be just constantly tested. 50 years ago, kids had it so much easier back then. And you know how, elderly people are like, oh, you kids have it so easy these days. We have to do so much more paperwork, so much more testing, so much more placement. It's just absurd. We don't need all that. And really, it's so black and white, so refined. It's just so rigid that you can't go anywhere with it. It just can't move. We're stuck in place. And we're suffering for it because, every day students are coming out of school. Students are going into school, and they're gonna, when they come out, they're gonna be the new generation that is gonna be the businessmen and the customers and everyone that generation. That's how it always works, and it's been slowly degrading. And so here are some ideas about that. One, to have a little bit more of an organic system where it's based less around testing and more around the teachers, and for the teachers to be able to sit down with their students and talk with them and say, okay, what do you guys really want to focus on? Like, say, and I'm not saying like hippie crap or anything like that, just we should all be sitting around campfires saying kumbaya, but I'm just saying, like, why not have a small group of students sit down with the teacher, even if it's like a math teacher, instead of them just being like, okay, here's algebra, here's trigonometry, here's geometry. They just sit down and say, okay, today, we're going to focus on algebra, but what do you guys really want to learn? And the students can then talk about what they want to learn. And I mean, I went to an art high school that was based solely in art, but it still had, to do those things, the math, the science, the reading, all that. And we still had to be tested frequently, and that it really clashed because most of the teachers are kind of those hippie teachers that really just want to let the children run loose because we at this point when we're going into high school and middle school, our kind of skill set starts kicking in. We really start like moving towards on our own what we want to do, but the problem is we're being held in place by the system. So having a more free-form thinking school would be so much better and more organic because then students would be able to learn at their own pace. Some students, they fall behind and then they're deemed as problem childs and they're deemed as like students that are just idiots, But really, it's just they just don't operate that quickly.
Well, the problem is the sort of learning that we have today is sort of like a fit-all type of student. Because you can't put that much. We only have our government only has such a high budget, like. Its budget is only so high. And yes, I know I'm not going to get into what we should spend our budget on, but like the way we teach is kind of like a fit-all kind of students. Like, it's not going to work for all, but like for the majority it works. And like the problem with, having kids chime in what they want to learn is that things won't get done. I mean, honestly, Because if I were to sit there and tell my teacher what I wanted to learn, I would be mostly fine arts imbued, and like you don't need just what you want. There's things that you need to learn, and it just. I mean, yeah, I see what you're getting at, but like, I, I don't know.
Well, okay, like you're saying, yeah, I definitely agree with it. It's not a fit all, but then again, yeah, I like I said, to teach and test is okay. I mean, there are times where like you need to do okay. Well, maybe we need to review what you guys have learned. So let's just take an exam. You know, not like 5 exams at the end of the semester kind of thing where we have to place you to see if you can make it into the next semester and all that. That's just bullshit. I'm saying more like okay, like say you wanted to do arts, like let's just say the teacher wants you to do a project on like a mathematical formula like y1 plus y2 over x1 plus x2 equals m squared, whatever it is, the Pythagorean theorem, anything like that. The teacher could say, all right, I want you guys to do a poster, and I want you to write down and advertise your theorem, advertise your equation, and I want you to really try to sell it. Make me think that yours is the best theorem. And with that, it's free form. Any kids can do whatever they want. If they can draw, the thing can draw. If it's just wants to be words, it can just be words. But the thing, what it does is on their own time, they have to research it. They have to look into it. It's not just, oh, look, on page 53, there it is in your textbook. Okay, I'll just have to memorize that and then remember it for the test. It's, oh, I learned so many new things. I found about the person who made the theorem. I found about the people who were against this theorem. Something that you would never have learned. And you learn twice as fast. It doesn't feel constricting. You fall asleep halfway through math class. I barely made it through all of my math classes. Really, I did. I just, I nearly passed out through some of them. They're just boring. They're not engaging. That is engaging to have a project like that. And I'm not saying every day has to be a project. I'm just saying like every once in a while. We don't really do that. We don't. The students are not allowed to have that free expression like at all anymore.
I do see what you're saying, but structure. We there's even with a little bit of wiggle room, yeah, that's fine. But like even I don't know. I feel like there's still gonna be those kids that just don't care. I mean, yeah, you're doing your best to make sure that they're engaged and that they learn twice as much, yeah. But in the end, if you're not interested in it, you're not gonna do it.
Well, then you gotta find something that interests them. That's why you gotta have the one-on-one sessions. That's why you gotta sit down and say, what do you want to learn?
The structure. Because no matter if it's a math class, they're gonna learn math. They have to.
Right.
And so, if they're not interested in math, then there's really nothing you can do. I mean, you can make it like, what's the area of 24 pizzas? Or whatever. But I don't know.
I mean, it's like, yeah, they got to learn it, but it's there's a higher percentage chance of the child to be engaged if it's something that's engaging. Like, let's say you're an infant and your parents are trying to teach you the alphabet. What would you prefer? Would you prefer like maybe a fun like those magnet sets that go on the like go on your fridge that you have to try to make words together? Would you prefer have them read a book with you and have something hands on? Would you prefer have them try to help you draw, or would you prefer have you practice the dictionary? Like, would you prefer just to sit down and just go A B B B B C C C C D D and go on like that? What seems more engaging to you? Because I would never pick just sitting down and having to constantly read the dictionary. I would pick the hands-on stuff, the interactivity with people.
Well, see, now you're comparing the learning styles of an infant to high schoolers, and they differ so much. Like, infants, they absorb information like no other. And high schoolers, their minds differ so much that you just can't keep track of all of them. And infants are so much alike that it's easy. Well, Easy's being very used very
I
loosely.
mean, it's the concept because you can't teach a child unless they're engaged. I was making the point that learning the alphabet is a vital thing. Learning math is a vital thing. Both of them are like parallel on that. Both of them have to be engaging for the person to actually learn. That's also parallel. The teacher has to just make it engaging. So let me just wrap up and talk about how the video game aspect fits into this. I always like the idea of trying to make educational video games, not like Mavis Bacon or like Math Blasters, but more like being able to learn from a game without ever realizing it. You learn so many things. Like a lot of stuff I've learned is from movies and video games. Cool tips and tricks that help me survive in the real world, and also just the general aspect of learning social skills and counters like Minecraft. It's infinite, but it really can be built with like a social comparison. You can interact with people. You can use it as a tool to like explore ancient civilizations as a class. You can use it to create to view how dictatorships would work, to view how like different forms of social class would work. I mean, anything really.
How'd you learn
It's such a fantastic
vocabulary?
game. What?
How'd you learn vocabulary?
How would I learn vocabulary?
Yeah.
Vocabulary in Minecraft. Well, let's see. What kind of like just like learning words you mean, or like different
Yeah,
terms?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, well,
Like
let's
you're
say like learning vocabulary. Let's like we could have a row of villagers with different signs on them that like have different like synonyms for like person or like a block. To say like there's diamond, but it could also be a color blue, because yes, diamond is a color. Or like I mean, you can
Thank
learn
you.
different dictions by practicing like with different languages because it's got a completely different language system. And really, it's not like a complete like it can fit everything, but really, I think it has the idea of expansion that school systems need to start taking.
What about the kids that aren't interested in video games? Because you still have that completely different learning styles that some would
Well,
prefer.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. You got to sit down with them, ask them. That kid that just loves to read, that kid that will just not let go of their book. They're reading that book 24/7. Give them something to read. If they prefer the textbook, give them the textbook. That's fine. Some people are built to work like that, but most kids aren't.
Well, how do you plan to manage the kids that are like? How do you plan to manage something like that?
Well, see, I've never liked the idea of like okay, here in Cruces we have 4 big high schools. I don't like that idea. I've always imagined like instead of having 4 big high schools, we should have like 10 medium-sized or 20 small schools. They're individualized. They're a lot more close encounter. The parents can track the teachers and the students so much easier. You become a lot more close with the people that you work with, and it would be bringing so much like we need to take education as a higher standpoint here. We need to realize its value, because if we were able to bring out a new generation that's even more educationally advanced than us, then we're that much step closer to them helping their children and their children helping their children, and so on and so forth, to where we start solving the problems.
But that is a lot of well
I
funding.
mean, it's a
We don't
lot
have
of
the money.
funding. Well, of course we don't have
Yeah.
money. Yeah, I know, but see, it's those small things that I'm talking about. Just starting the closer knit things. I mean, being able to just talk with the students. And do you know how much money they spend on testing? I don't know the exact figures, but why should they be spending that much on testing to make the papers, to make the tests, to have so many hundreds of thousands of people grade those like short answer tests and whatnot, to where compared to where you could actually be having that student learning something beneficial to them surviving in society.
Well, I don't see how anybody could not survive in society.
Like I just think that we need to rearrange our priorities. That's what I'm going to leave it at.
Okay, if you could list the United States priorities what would you say they are?
Right now, or what they should be?
Yeah. Both.
Okay, well, what they are right now, I'd probably say the first one is Congress. The second one is all the high legislative and all that. Then the president, and then the military, and then probably after that would be the banks, all that. Then I would say after that would be the healthcare system that we're trying to reinstate and get up there. Then after that, I'm not gonna sit here 40 minutes talking about politics like that, but I'm gonna say that education's kind of low down on the bottom right now, which is not a good thing. We can come back to this anytime we want, but I've already spent like 20 minutes talking about this, so we should really move on to you guys.
Okay, Troy?
Yeah, you've been very quiet this entire time, Troy.
Yeah, I don't really know what to talk about.
Wonderful. Joe, why don't you say something while Troy thinks of something?
Well, my name is Joe. I'm the one with the highly articulate voice, who often stutters, which is rather, backwards, if you would say. I enjoy Snickers bars the size of my forearm, which I bought today.
Look at that right there on the screen. Boom.
Shut your mouth. I will zap you more. I also enjoy double stuffed Oreos, Chips Ahoy, and vanilla wafers, which I did buy off.
Daddy.
What?
What?
I didn't say anything.
I didn't say anything.
Well, that's right. So,
Um,
Troy, have you thought anything? Have you thought of anything?
I guess I could talk about this. There's apparently a new series, like TV series, and a new game coming out called Sonic Boom. And I feel they did a very poor job on it. They took a couple of the characters in there and just added random things that just don't need to be there. Like, they took Knuckles and steroided him up, and same with Eggman. And then it seems like all the characters just rolled around in athletic tape for an hour. And I gotta say, I do like the voice actors. They sound nice, even though I only heard two of them. And then I read somewhere that it's gonna be a prologue, and I'm wondering, when did Tails learn magic?
You're a wizard, Tails. Oh, and the tornado as well.
Oh yeah, the tornado. And they effed up the tornado badly.
They completely changed the shape. It's like this weird, like roundish, like alien object, and it's like a 2-seater now. It's like Tails had like this sweet motorcycle, and then they just added like this retarded sidecar that's like meant for a circus on it.
Yeah, it's supposed to be one. It's supposed to be a 1-seater where if someone can't ride on the wings, which is usually what Sonic and Knuckles do. They do.
No.
If someone can't do that, they usually like sit right behind Tails. But no, they completely added a new seat, and it looks like a random like fighter jet. It's just supposed to be a regular plane. It doesn't need to go.
And
I feel like
game?
I feel like the designers just asked their children to draw the Sonic characters, and then their children are probably like 4 and 5 years old. They just gave them a bunch of crayons. They just drew these blobbish shapes. They're like, do this. Yeah, we drew these. I know. We're pretty good artists.
And I've noticed something. You notice? Yes, that's Knuckles. But there's Knuckles on the screen. Knuckles. Boom. That's what he looks like. He looks ugly. Anyways,
Kill me.
I noticed something. You know all the comments that like, why is Sonic's arms blue? I was thinking that was stupid at first. I was like, he's a blue hedgehog. Why aren't his arms blue? But I went back to his previous look and I was like, oh,
His arms
yes.
are, yeah.
yeah,
Tan.
skin on his arms. So now that I know that, it looks all retarded. And I'm just like, this is retarded. But yeah, that's all I have to talk about.
I have no idea what that was, because I've not even heard of it.
This is
I can
the
actually look
best
that up right now.
freaking podcast ever. Oh boy!
What is it called?
Sonic Punch, but Sonic Boom, Sonic Punch. Bleh.
Sonic Punch.
I don't know. I
typed
just
in
keep
Sonic
having
Boom.
Tails, just fucking magic glove belt in my head.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's. You haven't ended it yet, right?
No.
Okay, good. What I was talking about with Sonic and his and Tails and his magic, it's controlled by his belt, which is not even connected to his glove. He just turns the dial on his belt, and suddenly he has magic.
No, he just smacks it. It's like that belt from Toy Story 2, like what Buzz has that like makes him float. It's that shit right there. He just smacks it, boom, magic glove. He's got plasmids. It's BioShock. Whoa, it's gonna be a first-person shooter. Yeah!
And in the trailer, he dies.
Yeah,
Why
he
does
just
Knuckles
crashes
look like a
and
bodybuilder?
dies. It's amazing. He's like,
Yeah,
I'm going down! Boom!
Yeah, the trailer goes like this. Sonic has a battle with Eggman, which he's making fun of his name and stuff. And then, Tails comes in to help him. Sonic defies physics and turns himself around.
Several
and then
times.
suddenly the tornado gets hit by a robot's arm, and he starts going down. And at the ending of the trailer, it just shows him crash, it explode. Sonic looks at him like befounded that he crashed, and then just runs after him.
And that was it. It had like a Wile E. Coyote moment too. Like he like pulled up his rudder and it like just the stick just ripped off and he like looks at the camera and he like holds up a sign and it's like uh-oh. And then he just crashes. It was like that moment right there.
He doesn't actually hold up a sign, but
No,
it's
but
basically
it was like that. It just felt like that. Ooh.
Yeah, it was pretty. He was just like, he looks at the screen and he just kind of goes, I'm dead. And then he dies.
Awesome.
And then he dies.
Sonic could have
I'm
saved
going
him.
to get this game.
Oh yeah.
What
totally.
game?
Totally. Right after you get
Sonic
Sonic
Boom.
06, right? Best game ever!
Yeah, this is basically, from what I've seen, this is basically going to be Sonic 06.
It's like gonna be
Again.
Sonic 07. Ew.
Well, it would technically be Sonic 17.
Wait, what?
It came out 2006.
Wow.
Oh, and just for the record, I actually typed in Sonic Boob before that. I regretted it.
So much Rule 34. Boom on the screen. Just kidding. Huh? You dirty people.
Yeah, don't actually. This is not an NSFW pub.
NSFW?
Podcast.
You seriously say
Yeah.
it like that?
Yeah.
NSFW. Warning. This video may be an NSFW.
Well, yeah, we're probably way over time, so...
Nope, we're at
Nobody cares.
29 minutes. Yeah, we ranted and we ranted some more. What more could you want? And Troy sneezed twice.
Okay. So,
Bonus deal.
I guess we'll see you guys later.
Yeah.
No, we won't because we're lazy.
Yeah, we are.
Goodbye.
Share this with your friends.
Joe,
You're
can
not
I
going
take
to.
off the collar now?
No.
Please. please.
No.
Why are you on his side, Troy? What the
Shut up.
hell?
I'll push the button.
No, please don't. You're mean, Joe.
Oh, well, oh, really? Am I? Oh, really?
Bye, everybody.
Yeah, bye, guys.